So this is my brand new used Lamborghini Gallardo. Welcome back to another video. Team T is ℂ𝕝𝕒𝕟𝕚, and let's get right into it. So this video is going to be as short as I could keep it concise and summarized. As you guys may or may not know, yesterday I finally achieved one of my biggest dreams, which was to buy a Lamborghini. I went all the way to LA. I'm not going to completely discuss everything because you guys will see it in the vlog. I have had absolutely no time whatsoever to edit this vlog. I think it's going to be in 3 parts. I essentially bought the car in like a 3-day journey. I found it on Thursday. Well, I guess it would be 4 days technically, but it's probably going to be a 3-part vlog. I found it on Thursday night. So it went on sale on Wednesday. I found it on Thursday night. Contacted the dealer, talked to the dealer on Friday, talked to the dealer on Saturday, which is when we closed the deal, and my family and I drove all the way to LA to pick it up. And yeah, so everything happened very quickly. Shot as many parts as I could of the journey just for memory's sake and for YouTube and anyone that would be interested in the journey. It's been my dream car for a very long time. And yeah, so anyways, you guys will see that in a vlog. I just wanted to shoot this really quickly just so I have something interesting to share while I sort of figure out editing the vlog and whatnot. My first impressions, I drove it from LA all the way back, so it was about a 6-hour drive in the Lamborghini Gallardo. So I definitely got acquainted to it and how it is. Very interesting drive, to say the very least. There is like very technical on how to turn it on and drive it, put it in gear and stuff. So since the drive was very long, I didn't feel comfortable using the paddle shifters. I didn't think it would be an appropriate time to try to test it out, considering we're trying to get out of LA as quickly as possible and all that traffic, you know, very long drive, and everybody has work the following day. So not the, you know, most ideal situation, considering we literally spent almost 0 time in LA outside of at the dealer. And yeah, so that was that. So didn't try out the paddle shifters, just ran in automatic mode, but it's super technical, at least to some extent, I would say, if you're driving an exotic car for the first time and driving something that's nothing like this before. Everything I've driven has been completely, or not completely, but everything I've driven has been automatic. My AMG Benz had paddle shifters. I had a 04 Audi A4 that allowed you to also drive in like a semi-automatic mode where you could change gears as well. I believe you could shift up and it would automatically shift down if you didn't want to shift down yourself. So interesting situation. I believe I had to test it out, so I'm not even 100% sure if I'm going to say this right, but I think you have to have the car in neutral. You have to put the handbrake down to turn it on, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And then if you want to put it in automatic mode, you have to switch it from neutral to first gear and then put it on automatic mode, because it doesn't work any other way. If you're reversing, you have to kind of mentally like figure out what the hell you're trying to do, because it gets kind of technical, especially if you have cars around you that are waiting on you to pull out or whatever. So if you're reversing, you have to, I believe you have to turn it on. I think the car's on neutral and then you turn it on or whatever. Yeah, it's in neutral. You put the handbrake down, you turn it on. I might be messing up the order a little bit because obviously I didn't turn it on or off that many times yesterday, since it was just one long ass drive. And then you put it on reverse, and you have to be very careful because the car starts rolling. So you have to, you know, you have to essentially release your foot from the brake and hit the gas as quickly as possible to stop it from rolling, and then you'll essentially reverse. I had a couple issues with that when the car started rolling, and so that was kind of interesting. And the pedals, are extremely hard, so you would imagine how my feet felt after the long ass drive. Both pedals, the acceleration and the brake, are super hard pedals, so maintaining speed for a 6-hour drive with your foot on this hard ass acceleration pedal is very interesting. Gets very tiring. I'm not sure why the pedals are so damn hard. And yeah, so that was kind of interesting. The brakes are good, but the pedals just really hard. So that's kind of interesting. With the AMG Benz I had, you could barely tap the brake and your car, it would like jolts basically, because that's how good and quick the brakes were, and the pedal was so like loose. The steering is very hard as well. You're basically using every muscle in your arms to turn the car one way or another, which is also interesting compared to any other car I've ever driven actually, especially the Benz, which is what I would drive more often than not in recent years. The steering for the Benz was extremely loose, so you could maneuver pretty easily without any effort at all. Not so much with the Lamborghini. You don't need two hands to steer by any means, but you do have to put quite a bit of effort to actually turn the car. What else? It gets a lot of looks. I got endless compliments. The most compliments I ever got in a car was actually my 1991 Nissan 300ZX, which I had modified. Not anything crazy, but I used to get compliments on that. But even then, maybe the most compliments I got in the year I owned it or whatever was maybe like 15, 20, 25 compliments. The Lamborghini got a lot of head turns, a lot of reactions in general. I had people tell me it's a nice car. I heard people say, oh, it's a Lamborghini, to like their friends or whatever. I had people give me a thumbs up in traffic. I had people taking pictures of the car. I saw people like walk past the car when it was parked and look at it, or like walk by and like keep like staring at it. I had people trying to race me. Not many. There was a Challenger that pulled up next to me and kept like revving the engine basically. I had this Benz, which was just the E-Class Benz. It's probably like a 2012 maybe base model E-Class Benz, trying to race me, which didn't really make that much sense, but whatever. And I think there was one other car. I think it was a Camaro. I think there was a Camaro trying to race me. I'm not really sure. But I didn't really pay much mind to anybody because, I was trying to get acquainted with the car. I'm not trying to do anything crazy or stupid. And so that was that. So yeah, I think that's the overall experience. It's very limited in space inside. So that was something to get used to. There's a netting behind the seat where you could slide stuff in. So I was basically holding everything in there, considering, my first official drive, or my first drive in general with this Lamborghini, is essentially a road trip. Not the best car for a road trip. Everything you actually need to take is in the front, which you can't even access on this road trip unless you're making stops anyways. So, in the netting, I literally had my wallet, face mask. I had my phone, which I'm recording with, which ran out of space because I recorded too much and didn't have my laptop to transfer the videos. So I was using my actual vlog camera phone to shoot. So I had that. I had chargers because my battery was dying, running maps and everything. It was basically in this like little net, and it was very interesting. There's not much room. There's no center console where you could put stuff in. At least I haven't figured out. It almost felt like there was a center console, but I was trying to open it and it wouldn't work. So I don't believe there is one actually. And yeah, there is a cup holder, so that was actually surprising. I didn't think there was a cup holder in earlier Lamborghinis, but so I was a little surprised that there was one cup holder, but it's sort of in your elbow space, so it's not very conveniently located actually. And I could be wrong, but I don't think it's very deep either. So you're like elbowing this shit, and then like it's just quite the situation, to say the least. Leg room wasn't actually that bad. I thought it would be worse. but it wasn't horrible at all. I actually like sitting close to the steering wheel. And, you know, people would always ask me why I'm sitting so close to the steering wheel, and I'd always jokingly say, I'm getting prepared for my Lamborghini that I'll get one day, and that day has finally come. So I was sitting fairly close, so that wasn't super weird, because that's kind of how I always sit in everything I've owned. In the Nissan 300ZX, that was a very cramped space as well, since it was just a two-seater that I had, and you couldn't actually move the seat back very much or do any sort of movements or adjustment with the seats. So I would probably say that was even more cramped than the Lambo, but I could be wrong since that was several years ago. And yeah, overall, I think it was a pretty cool experience. That was my day one experience, probably the longest drive I'll ever have in the car. And yeah, thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Check out the clothing brand at triumphglow.com. Triumph, your dreams await.